Thank you, everyone, for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. Look at this. 2 weeks in a row, putting out an episode. As I say every week, thanks to all of you for liking, sharing, subscribing, downloading, watching the podcast. It means a lot to me. I do enjoy doing this, and I hope you enjoy listening. As always, search for us on all social medias at the Nerdball Podcast. Hit us up at Gmail, the Nerdball Podcast at gmail.com, and search on YouTube and watch all the videos of all these episodes. And yeah, this episode is pretty wild. It's with our friend Chelsea, and we talk all about smut novels. So if you have children around, it's probably not a good idea for them to be listening to this. So stick those little headphones in, listen to this podcast, and let me know what you think. So again, always appreciate all of you, and continue listening to this podcast. And I'm always looking for more guests. So while you're listening to this, maybe not while you're listening to this, because this is a pretty crazy episode, but maybe after, you're like, hey, I want to come on because I have some cool things to talk about. Hit me up, and we'll get you on. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I am Chelsea, and you are listening/watching the Nerdball Podcast.
This is the Nerdball Podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
Great, Chelsea. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I felt bad because we kept trying to set up a date, and you were like, hey, what about this one? And then I'd ghost you for 4 days.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. We're here now, and we're going to have a good time today.
So this is, I don't know what to expect. We talked about the last time you were on, coming on and talking about your books and telling me things. And I don't know where we're at exactly, but that's kind of where I left it off. So we're going to forego the normal nerd out question and just go with whatever you have going on. First of all, before we started recording, I did mention your background. It does look pretty sweet.
Thank you.
I do like all the stuff in your background. Have you read every single one of those books that are on the show?
Oh, absolutely not. But this is what happens when you have adult money with no one to tell you what to do in your own home to put it in. So,
yes. Can I tell you? So I just went to a Cleveland Guardians game a couple weeks ago, and I got tickets front row, a third base line, front row. Never sat there before. My son, and we took my son, his friend, and my dad came. And my dad, for years, his favorite seats are in the 570s. So that's upper deck, third base side. He loves sitting there, and it's nice. It's nice. You can see everything.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, now I'm buying tickets, and I will buy them where I want to buy them. And it wasn't bad. It was $55 for front row, third base line.
Not bad at all. That's nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think one of my absolute favorite things as an adult is when my parents, I love my parents. My parents are wonderful parents, but when they try and tell me something and I can say, oh, nope, see ya. I was over at their house the one day and they were just irritating me. And I said, you know what? I don't have to stick around for this. I have my own house a mile down the road. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will be seeing you. Or my parents will be like, hey, you should do this. And I'm like, do you pay this mortgage? No, you do not. I will see you later. I'm like, how do you guys like it? A little taste your own medicine, huh?
It's classic. It's classic.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Things that I like, it's that old commercial where I don't know if you remember, but this guy, it's different people, but this guy, I remember, he has the front door open. He's talking on the phone. He goes, Dad, just want to let you know the door open. I'm air conditioning the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. So great. Yes.
Yeah, because you're always getting yelled at for things. And now, do they do that kind of stuff? Just to be silly parents where they'll come over and keep their shoes on or keep the door open or whatever. And
no, because I think they're just a skosh afraid of me because I am my mom, God bless her little cotton socks, does not remember that I do not I have one carpet in my house and it's a nice carpet. I spent my big girl money on it. I just don't want shoes on it. You can literally wear shoes anywhere else in my house because I have the vinyl flooring. Just don't put your shoes on my carpet. And I'll catch her and I'm like, woman. And then she hops up and runs out. And I'm like, and then one day she went to step on it, was like, oops, sorry, I have my shoes on. I know. That's the one thing that they refuse to attempt to listen to me on. But
I tell you one thing I'm gonna do when my kids get houses is whenever I go over there, I'm gonna leave the cap off the toothpaste and right by the sink, or in some cases on the floor.
Yeah.
and get the end of the toothpaste all hard. And you know who has to brush their teeth with hard toothpaste the next day?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because I'm the first one to use it. So that is definitely one of the first things I'm going to do.
yeah.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to steal all their caps. I wouldn't even
Yeah.
like to set them there. I'm just going to take them.
Take them and say, you have lost the privilege for caps on your toothpaste.
Remember here, hard toothpaste. Use it.
Yeah. Yeah. What a time.
All right. So we'll get right into this. I don't know what to expect. I'm excited. And I'm sure I will put it, and I'm sure I have to say that this is probably something to listen to with no kids. Um, but I will put that at the beginning also when when people first put it on. But I'm excited. I'm also excited because whenever you're on the podcast, I get messages from you or like when I do share the posts about people excited. There are a lot of people who really enjoy you coming on the podcast. People that you don't even know that will tell me like, "Oh, I love when
Oh,
Chelsea's on."
well,
Um,
hello, everyone.
yeah, so you do have a lot of Nerdball podcast fans, so they will
Love
be
it.
excited that you're back on the podcast. So
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited because I have a couple different things because, I feel like romance books get such a bad rep. And let me tell you, we are here for a good time, not a long time. And why would you deprave yourself from just the majesticness that is romance novels? I mean, you name it, they've got it. You can do your normal, like, very highbrow literature, and you can do downright unhinged, psychotic peep smut.
Mhm.
Yeah, smut about peeps, marshmallowed animals.
What?
Yeah, dude, welcome. You give anybody a device to write, and they will do it. So yeah, I also have stumbled upon.
That's crazy. That
um,
sorry.
co-
You paused. You paused there to let me speak,
no,
and I will. That is insane. I, but you're right because we talked about this before. If you think about it and Google it, someone's probably done it. So
there was, and I've developed what I like to call a very niche brand of my friends have labeled me like the psycho reader, and they're like, oh, she'll read anything, like it, like you read, nothing sets you off. And I'm like, yeah, not really. I'll try anything once. And I now have
that's cool.
everybody.
We can clip that and
Yeah, yeah. And everybody sends me things. And my friends sent me something the other day and they're like, can you please read this and get back to me? And I read the synopsis and it is about a sentient pair of Crocs. And they were gay lovers that got trapped into the Crocs, and they only come alive when they're in a bookstore. And this girl was working the bookstore and they came alive. And they're like, hey, we're here and we're ready.
oh,
So I
they
was like,
can't.
oh, maybe we'll see. I'll have to add that to the TBR. I'll get to it.
Oh, so you haven't done that one yet?
I haven't done that one yet. I
Okay.
have less, but I guess I'll start with, I'll give you a little quiz on some acronyms to see if you can catch up with them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll start. This is an easy one. Do you know what TBR means?
TBR. To be read.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
See, that's pretty good.
All right.
I have my list of some that we have. Some of these get pretty.
Now, do people who read, and I'm not saying this to make you feel any certain way, quote unquote, normal books use TBR?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a pretty
Okay.
normal
That's just
reading.
a
And
normal reading.
you can call it fiction. It doesn't. That's not how I guess a normal book.
I'm just saying, sentient croc lovers is not
Yeah.
like I don't know. It just I
Yeah.
guess you're right. I guess
You say fiction. It's a
sure,
genre.
sure.
So there are some phrases that it's like an acronym.
Mhm.
And as a romance reader, I can pick that up from a mile away.
Okay.
Uh I'm gonna read one. And I'm gonna read off and see if you can guess it. But this
Okay.
one makes the girls go feral.
Okay.
SAGF GYTMSW.
Oh my God. Wait, do it again. I got to write this down because I want
Yeah.
to look at it. Okay, go.
SAGFGYTMSW.
So right now, all your friends who read these fiction books, smut novels, know exactly what this
They
is.
just screamed it out loud. Yes.
S.A. Man, I don't know.
You need to give me a guess.
So I'm just basing this off understanding that this is smut / fiction books. So my first 2 letters immediately were suck A. That was immediately.
That's one path.
That's immediately what I thought. Gosh, can you give me the beginning?
Such a good.
Is the F word?
Yes.
Such a good fuck guy.
No.
Such a good fuck man.
This is being said to someone.
So okay. God, I don't know.
All right. Do you tap out?
Yeah.
Okay. Such a good fucking girl. You take me so well.
And these are like, this is a normal thing.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is what we like to call praise talk, Lorenzo.
Praise talk.
Women go feral for it.
Such a good fuck. So well. Okay.
Oh, you're going to be memorizing it.
No, I'm trying to go through it because I have it written down. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's a good one.
Okay.
All right, I need to. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
More letters.
Yes.
Okay.
I had to write it out because. Okay. All right. TTD LAGG.
LAGG. Take that dick like a good girl.
Yes.
Boom.
You are catching on. Okay. That is, yeah.
I had TTD immediately.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't? Yeah.
I see. There you go. See, it is very like, the boys knock it out, but I'm telling you, there are some things to be learned in these books.
Look, I am no hater. You like what you like, and that doesn't mean I get some sort of entertainment out of it, different entertainment than you. Like, you guys read the books and get entertained. I get entertained listening to what they're about, and I don't have to spend 80 pages reading. Or
you get the 80, sir.
Well, I mean, I know some of them are longer, but I think you mentioned some that are short too. So
yeah, those are those are what we like to call novellas. Novellas are 200 pages or less.
Got it. Okay.
So I saw this and I thought this might be something fun.
Okay.
I have a couple stacks of books. I will give you a synopsis of each, and then you get to pick which book you would like to live inside. Or which one.
Okay.
And I'll tell you who you are. I'll read
Got
you.
It. Okay.
I'll give you the synopsis you pick, and then I'll tell you who your new identity is.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So, I'm going to start with the less unhinged first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you rather like to be a grumpy fisherman who has the preppy popular girl who's kind of in trouble and gets shipped off to a fisherman town as kind of punishment to learn her, to teach her a lesson, and then you kind of fall in love with her and she's a pain in your ass, but then you realize you like her and you take her out on your boat. Things happen.
Sure. Motion of the ocean.
Yeah. And then you guys end up falling in love. She almost catches her apartment on fire trying to cook for you. Then you let her come to your house and cook. and then dinner's not the only thing you eat on the table. And
Heyo.
and then she thinks that you were lost at sea because something crazy happened, and she runs to the hospital to find you. Turns out it's not, and then you're so overwhelmed with emotion that you have to get it on in a medical closet.
Oh, okay.
So that's option one.
Got it.
Or would you rather be a bodyguard who you are guarding the future queen of a country who you are 10 years older, but you have a rule that you never fall in love with who you're protecting? And then wouldn't you know, you start to fall in love, but she's going to be the queen and you are just a commoner. But she is kind of into you, and then to put her in her place, you tell her to crawl to you. And she does. And it's great. And then you guys have to pull down the old matriarchy to make it happen so you can get married.
Well, who doesn't love to pull down the old matriarchy, right?
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
First impressions. If this was me in one of these books, personally, I'm not, and this is I'm saying this, but I'm not going to use this as a way to say no. I'm not a huge fan of boats or water, and just in general, right?
Okay.
But I will not use that to say no, because we will say this is a fiction book, and I don't get seasick in this book.
Yeah. See, there you go.
I'll tell you how easily seasick I get. We have a marina at my park, and if I go too far on one of the docks, I start getting a headache. So,
yikesy. Also, I guess I should note, billionaire close to it because you inherit a bunch of money from the monarch.
okay. Well, see, if it's love, then what does money matter, right?
True.
I didn't even factor that part in. Even I do like the fact that one was or is a future queen. That is very intriguing. Doesn't I don't really care. You know what? I don't really care for preppy. I dealt with a lot of that in Perrysburg, and my wife, even though she went to Perrysburg, is not that. So I will go with the future queen in, what is that? Twisted Games.
Twisted Games. Congratulations, you are Reese Larson.
Reese Larson.
Yes. Yeah, he is fan favorite.
Oh, okay.
Good choice.
So Reese Larson, this person who writes these books just makes a bunch of books where he's the main character.
No, so here we go. I'm gonna learn you something today.
Okay.
So this is what we like to call a book from an interconnected standalone. So what that means is that in this series there are 4 books, and it is about 4. I'll show you. I'll grab the rest of them. They are about 4 girlfriends that went to college together.
Okay.
And they all
have sex with the same guy.
No, it's all different, but it's all interconnected. So for instance, in this one,
yeah,
we have
Twisted Love.
Yeah, so you have Ava and Alex.
Okay.
Alex is a billionaire and Ava's one of the girls from college. Then you have
Are they all twisted?
Yeah, they're all twisted something.
Okay.
You have Reese and Bridget, and Reese is her bodyguard.
All right.
And you have, this is the best one because this is
Twisted Hate.
This is enemies with benefits. Hot.
That a lot of movies are like that, and then they end with "I love you" and we're getting married.
Well, obviously, but you got to start. It's like the hate fucking is like the best part of it.
That's
But anyway, so this is about Jules.
Okay.
And Jules is dating, well, she hates Ava's brother from this book.
Okay.
So, and Ava and Alex and Josh are besties. Then you have Stella and Christian.
Uh-huh.
And he's another billionaire, and he's best friends with this billionaire, or not best friends, but they're friends. And then Stella is an influencer, and all of those girls went to school together. So that's how they're all connected.
So the girls are friends, and then some of the guys are friends.
Mm-hmm. But they're all connected. And then as you keep reading, like as you meet characters, they kind of stay within the story. So it's kind of fun because it doesn't really end, and you get little bits and pieces of
Oh, okay.
as you keep going.
So there's 4 of those books. Are there more? Or are they...
So right now, so this is her Twisted series, this author.
Okay.
And then she just came out with, or she didn't just, but she has another one that is It's called The Kings of Sin.
Okay.
So it's all 7 sins. So it's like so
Okay.
right now it's like King of Pride, King of pride, or no, King of Greed, Pride, um envy, and sloth are out.
Okay. All
And
right.
so she's obviously doing and it's really
Yeah.
fun because as you keep reading, you get to kind of see like the Easter eggs of like who the next couple in the book might be.
So it's like a Marvel movie at the end where they have the little cut
Yeah.
scene, and you're like, all right, that's next.
Yeah, exactly. So see, it works for everyone. You know, there
Well,
are
so
mhm.
those books seem um like on the scale of Crocs to regular, like
Yeah,
they're more towards, you know, like
quite
regular.
regular. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even the scenarios are a little more believable
Yeah.
than
So you gotta,
Croc Love.
yeah, crockle up. So tropes are a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like kind of what helps swing you in like the direction you want to go. There's a lot of common ones, like there's enemies to lovers, there's best friend's brother, there's brother's best friend, there's age gap,
All
there's
right, so it's just a bunch of porn titles, porn like, you know,
yeah,
uh,
I
you know,
yeah,
like
yes.
I
Mhm.
mean, when you were rattling those off, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's exactly.
I totally see. But then you get into like this very niche, like micro trope, okay? And this is where like all the swooning happens, okay? Like where he has loved her for years but can't tell her, or he secretly gets a tattoo of her name over his heart because he's loved her forever and she finds it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, or like he shampoos her hair for her, or he kisses her on the forehead every time she falls asleep, but he can't kiss her like when she's aware of it. That sounds a little
Oh,
more creepy than I meant it to be, but it's like cute in the book. Okay.
or stepbrother, help me, I'm stuck. Stuff like
Okay.
that.
Well, there
I
is
just
that. Actually, it's very funny because this is a stepbrother age gap romance.
hey, the first step siblings that I known that are like, why is this movie having this direction?
What?
Fucking Paul Rudd and what's her name? Alicia Silverstone. What movie is that?
Oh, Clueless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're step brothers and sister, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I love you."
that was weird, but it worked. But
Mhm.
if that was my friend, I'd be like, girl, get the hell up. What are
Like,
you doing?
wait a minute
That
here.
is not okay. What are you doing? Um, yeah, okay, so now I'm gonna take you in a slightly different direction.
Okay.
Okay, so
Any more shoes that come alive that I should be aware of?
no, I haven't, no, and I haven't read that one yet, but when I do, I'll alert you. And maybe we'll have to do a live reading. One of these days, though, I'm gonna make you do this in person, and
Okay.
I'm gonna make you read a chapter aloud, or I'm gonna make you read an excerpt aloud.
What is your setup currently in there? Could two people come in there, a couple of video cameras,
Oh yeah, I could
and make it
clear. I
work?
mean, we could make it work. We can do it in my
Okay.
living room. We could.
All right.
Oh yeah, we could do things. We could have a
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So okay, we're shifting gears a little bit.
All right.
So you are. Would you rather be a 500-year-old primal god primal, like you are the primal of death? So
What does that mean?
all death goes through you.
Okay.
Like you can kill anybody, but you're actually secretly the primal of life because your uncle's a fuckwad and tried to mess with shit. And so in order to keep like living, you have to kidnap this person to make her your consort, and shocker, she's only 18, So, you have to go get her, but then you realize like, oh, she's kind of a badass, maybe doesn't want to come, so you leave her go, but then by you denying her,
Oh, sure.
her lands start to die and everyone blames her. And while her stepbrother is trying to beat the shit out of her for it, You swoop in and save her, make her your consort. Now she has to come live in your land where there are Draken, which are dragons that also shift into humans.
Okay, thank you.
And all while you have a really cool silver band on your arm that when you take it off, it turns into a horse that can go between the realms. And surprise, you're a 500-year-old virgin, and she's all like, let me get a piece of that. And then you find out the whole time she was trying to be cool with you was because she wanted to get you to trust her, and then she thought she had to kill you in order to keep her people alive.
Okay.
But you're like, damn, I
It's
love
a bad
her.
ending.
And
It's a bad ending.
she keeps well, there's 4 books in the series, so you know. And she keeps like trying to stab your heart, and you're like, damn, like I love you. Will you quit doing that? But kind of makes me love you more every time you do. So
Okay.
got that.
All right.
Or,
That, by the way, that's a thick ass book.
yeah, this is pretty. What I think this one's almost. This is 632. These bad boys are over 800, and I've read all 3 of those, so we have a good time here.
The largest book I have read was probably somewhere between the 600 and 800, and it was just a book about basketball. It was called The Big Book of Basketball.
Sweet. I think the biggest book I read was 1,200 pages.
Oh my god!
And I cried 4.5 times during it. So yeah.
Oy.
So good time. Okay, this one, I think you're just really in for a treat.
Okay.
Would you like
well, time out for people who are not watching? This book is called Morning Glory Milking Farm.
Yeah.
Has a bull, I'm guessing.
Minotaur.
A minotaur and a sultry woman.
Yes. Okay.
But okay. The title is insane. Morning Glory Milking Farm. Got it.
Yeah. And would you rather be
not a bull,
a minotaur who lives in Cambria Creek?
Okay.
And it's a mixed land of like humans and other animals and insects and things, and you all live happily amongst yourselves. But your minotaur jizz powers the human world, so you can
milking farm. Okay.
Yeah, you can go get milked for money, and so you go, and you're kind of one of the top donators. And you're a businessman. You're a business minotaur. So you go on your lunch break. Out. Yeah, you go on your lunch break. You get it done. You get out. You cash your check. But there is a new collector that you kind of are having a fancy for, and you start requesting her.
Oh.
And she becomes your milker, your milkmaid, if you will.
Yes, personal milkmaid. All right.
Yeah, personal milkmaid. And then maybe you realize like there is something going on, but then you realize that you have left your hook in your nose, which signifies that you're taken. Oh. So she's like, I don't want anything to do with you. And then you're like, ugh, I had a really bad breakup. I haven't gotten over it. Fine, I'll take the damn hook out. So you take it out. And then she's like, oh, hey. Yeah. So then you guys kind of get together, but you're a gentleman. So you put little covers over your hooves so you don't scratch up her floor when you go in and visit her. And then you just kind of fall madly in love, and you're in a weird species relationship. And of course you have a massive dong that it barely fits.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't laugh too much.
So
okay. So first of all, these are wild. Also, do they explain in the book what the love juice, if you will, actually does for the whatever world
it's like a power source?
So it's like the Screams and Monsters Incorporated.
Yeah. That, and they put it in like it powers it, but then it also, I think it's either powers it or it's like used as like a youthful thing. Like they put it in creams and stuff.
Oh, I've seen that movie too.
I know all my friends listening are like probably screaming at me like I've got some part of it wrong, but I got the important parts. Okay.
That's yeah.
So 500-year primal of death, virgin, but gets it in.
Yeah.
Gentlemanly Minotaur bull man with hoof protectors and his little tiny human girlfriend.
I'm gonna the I'm gonna have to go with freaking Minotaur. I
Right.
just so the other one I don't like because I've been in a relationship before where I've been treated like crap and I'm like, but I do like you and it's terrible. And I was a young lad and it did not end well and I don't want any part of that. Plus 500-year-old virgin, what kind of life is that for 500
He
years?
was waiting for his girl.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
thank you. And
Um,
then this one, you get paid for a while to just enjoy myself and go about my business. What's this guy's day job, by the way?
Congratulations. Oh, his day job, he's like in finance. He wears a suit. He always comes in a suit. I think it's finance. It's something fancy because he always wears a like three-piece Minotaur suit. Because he always talks about how he has to take his like jacket off and he places it over the
Okay.
edge. So, congratulations, you're Rourke.
Rourke the
Yeah,
Minotaur.
yeah.
Okay.
He's a
Uh
sweet angel.
yeah, that to me that was a little more it was an easy choice. Those two scenarios were crazy. But yeah, okay.
So yeah,
The
this is
title of that is still so
uh-huh,
good. So
uh-huh.
good.
It's so good. The book after this, it's like berries. Oh, hold on, here it is. It's called Sweet Berries, and
Okay.
he's a Mothman who has a corkscrew peen that like he can be on the other side of a window and snuff out to her, and she loves it. Um, so yeah, that one's pretty fun. That one wasn't as fun as Morning Glory Milking Farm, but different strokes for different folks, I guess.
Sure. Sure. I just there's I, so is there a whole in this
So this is called
world is,
Monster Slut.
I would just say is there like a whole world of that?
So yeah, there's also, where's my, oh, this one's, I haven't read this one yet, but I know the synopsis. So you've got Dragon's Bride. He's got two weens. So but I have to,
Wait, that's in the synopsis?
yeah, like, well, I've seen like people do the reviews and like they
Oh,
love
okay,
it.
okay.
You wouldn't love two weens, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
If there's one
there's
isn't enough.
another series called Ice Planet Barbarians.
Wait, I
And
think you might have told me about this one, but
yeah,
go
so this is
continue.
they're aliens. Like the women get kidnapped from Earth
Uh-huh.
by these bad aliens, and then the women fight back, and then the spaceship like crashes, or they drop the women out on this other planet, and then the um Vectel and his bros roll up on all these women and are like, "Well, let me save you."
Mm-hmm.
And they also, shocking, need to repopulate their planet. And apparently women can, of course, mate with them.
Oh, it's a perfect match. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're 7-foot blue aliens. They've got huge dongs, and they got a thing called a spur, which is a little nubbin above their ween.
Okay. That
Um,
matches perfectly with
Naturally,
other
yes.
parts. Yes.
Yes. So my friend described it best, where she said, "You know why these are so good?" She goes, "It is because you get the best of both worlds. There is zero capitalism and all the fun and love and romance. You just get to live your life and be unbothered, and you get
Yeah.
to have all the fun." And I was like, "Oh, that is so perfect."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, who wouldn't have a good time?
Are these people, are these women in your group, are they single, married, boyfriend, or
No, they're
boyfriends?
all married with children. Well,
Okay.
one does not have kids, but she's married. And one of them, me and another are single, and then one is married with no kids. Everybody else is married with kids.
Got it. Okay.
And trust me, their husbands do not mind that they read these.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like
Yeah.
it,
Oh, they
yeah.
totally reap the benefits, and they're
Like,
like,
like I would imagine sitting on the couch, you see your wife, like maybe she doesn't read every day, but maybe like the days that she does read, you're like, all right, something's happening.
something's going on. And I
Unless
love,
unless she gets to a part in the book where it just pisses her off for some reason.
yeah, it's like, ah, damn it. No, my friends and I, we have our own like guide of like chili peppers, and it's very funny because I know the type of reader I am now, where I was at my cousin's Shelby's bachelorette party last October, and we were all talking about books, and I'm like, yeah, so like what's the spiciest book you guys have ever read? And the one girl's like, oh my God, and she listed it. She actually said it was this book right here. She's like, it was probably this book. And she's like, I had,
A Court of Silver Flames.
yeah, but you have to kind of read this series in order. She's
Okay.
like, oh, it was so spicy. And I was like, that is like, she's like, that's like a 5, definitely a 5. And I was like, that is like a 2 for me. So
Okay.
that is, so yeah, you have to like get your levels. But then my friends and I also will recommend, be like, ooh, read this book. It is the sluttiest book I've ever read. Like, really good time had by all. So it's nice because when you have your people who also love the weird shit with you, you guys just help each other keep growing in the weird shit.
Do all these books end in happiness?
Yes, well, most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them do, but sometimes you have to get like, you have to go through some shit to get there, i.e. this book right here. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do this because it needs to be done.
Those look fancy.
Yeah, because you know why? Because I'm a psycho, and
And you bought the special edition?
I bought. I don't even want to tell you how much I spent on this like PR box because I had just gone through a breakup. I was having a really bad day, and I said, you know what?
You know what? I'm gonna do something for Chelsea.
Yeah, and I did, and here I am with gold foiled books. So this book,
what's it? It's Flock.
Well, Flock.
Okay.
Chapter 25. The girls that get it. Okay.
You can't just gloss over that here. What's so hot about this book?
Well, Celia moves to her hometown with her dad because her dad's like, you want money, you got to stay with me for the summer. She's like, but I don't want to. I don't like you, Dad. So she goes, and then she meets this boy, Sean, and Sean is her sunny days. And then all of a sudden, she meets Sean's friend, Dom, and Dom is her rainy days. And homegirl is just kind of having fun, doing whatever she wants.
So no matter what day it is, she's
doesn't matter what day. Well,
okay.
Chapter 5, they're just sunbathing on a raft. And then one thing leads to another, and it is hot.
Okay.
So, Chapter 25, so great. Love it. Phenomenal book. This book ripped my goddamn heart out. Okay. Put it in a blender, made it into a popsicle, let that popsicle thaw outside, had a dog shit on it, and then set it on fire. I have never cried so hard in a book until this book. I have cried harder in other books since. This is the first book that ever made me feel emotions. I cried for a week straight after I read this book. I finished this book in 24 hours.
Oh my.
I finished this one in, I believe, 36.
Oh yeah.
This book.
The finish line. Okay.
Kind of puts all the little broken pieces together, but I was still super pissed from the trauma in this book.
Okay. Are they all, and they're all in the, like,
these are all like the same story. So this is like follows the same. This isn't like, it doesn't change point of views. It is the same story.
Got it.
Like it's 3 books long. But I love this series with my whole heart, but it destroyed me hard.
And you've spent several $100s on these books. 1,000.
No, you were right.
Okay.
You're right. It's a couple of $100. I got other things. Let me just tell you, like there were other things in the PR box, but
several other things. Okay. All right.
There was like a candle. Oh yeah, no, not weird things, like normal. No, there was like a bookmark. There was a candle. There was an air freshener.
All shaped like wieners.
Yeah.
No.
I got an ebook, like the ebook that was released early.
What's PR box, by the way?
PR.
Is that what you said? PR?
Yeah, PR box. It's just like, what does PR stand? public relations, right? No, I don't know. It's just
Oh.
like you buy it. It's PR is not just to romance. It's like everything. Like
Okay.
it's like a common term, but I can't even remember what it's called. But
All
yeah,
right.
you buy it and you get like special access to things and special things, and sometimes they're sent for free. Mine was not. So maybe it was just like a box. Maybe it wasn't a PR box. It was just a special box.
So
A lot of
this doesn't
money.
even say what is PR. Yeah, public relations.
Yeah,
A,
that's what I
PR
thought.
box is a curated and personalized collection of your brand's products that you send to social media influencers.
Yeah,
So,
so that
okay.
definitely wasn't this. This was I paid money and it was a special box.
Hmm.
Maybe one day I'll be on a list for things, but
Oh,
I,
I'm
I
sure you're already on some list.
yeah. Well, okay, I think one of my so I listen to audiobooks. Like 90% of the way I consume books is through audiobooks. I have gotten to a point where I listen at 2.0 speed. Is it psychotic? Yes. Do I
Hey,
finish books twice as fast? Yes.
I'm at 1.7. So,
Okay, so you get it. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty, yeah. So I was driving in my car and I had my sweet mother next to me and I was like, "Hey, do you care if I listen to my book?" And she's like, "No." And I was like listening to it and it got to a part and she was like, "Oh," and it was like ramping up to be sexy.
Okay.
And then she goes, "Oh, Uncle Jake." And my mom goes, "Uncle Jake, what the fuck?" And I go, "You don't get it. It's her step uncle. It's fine. It's fine. It's a story. Like, they're not blood related. Like, just let it go."
Uncle Jake.
So yeah, she calls him Uncle Jake. And I was like, ooh. And then another time, you want to talk about like the best person to ask about my reading habits is Chaz,
Okay.
because he loves to do synopsis of the books I'm reading to like the way he thinks. When I told him what this book was about, his he was so perturbed and was like, "What the hell are you reading?" And so if you ask him about the
The
Minotaur
milking
book,
farm.
yeah, he'll go on. It is so funny to watch him give his synopsis of it.
Yeah.
And then he asked me to drop him off when he was living in his apartment. I was like, "Yeah, but I'm listening to my book." And he gets in and I'm listening at 2.0 speed. And he's like, "What the hell is wrong with her? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you listening to this?"
Yeah.
And then, of course, it happened to be the scene where the guy is using a pew pew to get her off.
Oh my gosh.
And my brother's like, "What is happening?" So yeah, it's a really fun time here. But I did also recently stumble across so there's like book tropes, like I was explaining.
Mhm.
But then somebody came out and goes, "How funny would it be to have like anti-trope books?" So instead of one bed trope, there's too many beds. And like you can't, or the your teacher loves everybody but you. Like, so all the opposites of the classics. And I was like, that is really funny. And I think my favorite one was like, "Oops, I kidnapped a mafia boss," because the very common one is getting kidnapped by the mafia. Which I think, given I would love to be kidnapped by the mafia, but like a cool mafia that like won't get too pissed if I get lippy. I don't need one that'll just shoot me because I'm too much trouble. I
Or
need
be
one
careful, they're
that,
gonna
like,
shoot you in your vagina.
yeah,
According to these other books. Jesus,
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So I need one that like likes I'm a little feisty, so I can just say whatever I want. But
Yeah.
then they usually have $1 million in a boat, so. And then you get those huge like touch her and die vibes. Chef's kiss.
Touch her and die.
Yeah. So like if
Oh,
someone
got it. Yes.
next to you
Okay.
and touches you,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That makes you feel special, right?
It does. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, tell me.
To the point where you're like, "Hey, guy, why don't you just try to come over here and give me a hug?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then what if there's like, now I'm going off your books. What if there's like, she's like a serial killer, but she doesn't do the killing and she just like comes like hits on these guys, and then other people see, and then those people kill them. Look at that.
You are very much onto something. Also, I am very heavily invested in serial killer romances. I just
Oh.
finished one a couple weeks ago. That was really good. And they're they are vigilante serial killers,
Mm.
and they're killing bad people.
Oh, so
Who,
like Dexter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they like meet up, and he like saves her because she got stuck into a trap, and he saves her, and he's like, damn, I kind of like her. I don't want her
Yeah.
to leave. But they were like, oh, she's like, I got things to do, get out of my way. And then they make a pact to meet up once a year and like kill the like to see who can ever kill this one person first.
Oh.
Like the brother sends them the mission, and it's like whoever gets the dude first, and they do this. It is A+ top tier book.
Yeah.
So good. So
Is that is that a smut novel?
of course it is.
Oh.
Of course
You didn't
it,
just you didn't well, you didn't describe any of that part. It just sounded like a good book. And
it
then
is
you're
a good book, and then they happen to get it on quite a bit in it. That's the thing, like some of these, like the plot is really good, plus they're boning, so it's like twice as good. Oh, I mean,
I mean
what are we
that book sounded good. They could write a separate book without the boning and it'd still be a good book.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, not
it's
that I'm
so
not condoning, I'm not anti-boning. I'm just saying
yeah.
that could happen.
I mean, there's a lot to be learned here, okay? And then I think one of the most fun things is when you're reading a book and you're like, ooh, did I like that? Should I like that? That's new. Ooh, okay. Then you got to hit the old group chat and be like, did anybody else read this? And did that make you feel things? Where are we at here with that? So yeah,
That's
you
bold.
kind of,
That's bold to put that out there too. You're like, hey, because it's one of those things if everyone comes back like, no, I felt the opposite, and then you're just like, yeah, me too, just checking.
yeah. I just want to make sure literally everybody had the same exact, oh, ew, gross.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. In secret, you're
Okay.
like googling
Yeah.
mustard lovers.
Yeah. Yes. There is. Did I tell you about Chuck Tingle the last time?
I don't think so, but man,
So,
that's a good character name. I'll tell you that.
yeah, he's an author, and
Oh, even
it's
better.
a pen name, but I
Sure.
need to read you
Chuck
some of his
Tingle.
titles. Um, he's oh, it's so good. It's too good. Um,
Chuck Tingle.
he where's okay. All right, this is probably my favorite title that he has.
Okay.
Pounded by the pound, turn gay by my socioeconomic implications of Britain leaving the European Union.
Wait, that's the whole.
That's the title. That is the title.
Oh,
There oh, okay.
pounded by President Bigfoot.
Yeah, my billionaire triceratop craves gay ass. I'm
But
gay. There's
buttception.
yeah,
A butt within a butt within a butt.
it's so yeah, and then there's Space Raptor butt invasion.
Oh my gosh.
And then wait, where is the oh yeah, slammed in the butt by my handsome laundry detergent pod. And the funny thing is like these are it might be hard to see because I have like
Oh yeah.
dang it. The images are amazing because they are just really shittily photoshopped someone's face on
Which
like
one? Which one is that?
on a pod. This is the slammed in the butt by my handsome laundry detergent pod. So, but there is one that oh okay, this is a long one, so buckle up.
Wait, before you do that one, here's one. Trans wizard Harriet Porber and the bad boy Parasaurolophus.
Yeah. This one on title a lot. This is my second favorite title by Chuck Tingle.
Okay.
Pounded in the butt by my handsome sentient library card, who seems otherworldly, but in reality is just a natural part of the priceless resources our library system provides.
Oh my god. Why?
So rumor has it that whoever the like who he is or who the person is normally is an author, and that someone came out and said like the Hugo Awards were so stupid and like they just went to like these really prestigious people and it like really didn't matter.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden this Chuck Tingle like author came out and he started writing nonsense like this, and then it started to get nominated for things because people were like kind of over or something to that effect, where he came out of this author and persona came out of kind of as like a fuck you to people who were voting on things. And now it's just turned into this and it's amazing. For the record, I have not read a single one of
are
his.
these actual books, or is he just
Yeah,
putting out
yeah.
titles of books?
No, they're books.
Okay.
They're novellas. I think they're like under 100 pages.
Got it. Oh yeah, this one, Oppressed in the Butt by my inclusive holiday coffee cups is
Yeah.
42 pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like great time had by all. So if you're ever like, man, I don't think I'm doing great in life, just read these titles.
This is one of this is a funny one. Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, this is another very long one. Also, I probably shouldn't have Googled this, but
Yeah.
oh well. Slammed in the Butt by Donald Trump's attempt to avoid accusations of plagiarism by removing all facts or concrete plans from his Republican National Convention speech.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Oh my
so
gosh.
entertaining. So see,
I can't wait to tell people about this.
I know, be like, someone's like, what's the latest book you're reading? Well, single. Pounded in the Butt by my butt. It's making all the rounds.
Space Raptor Butt Invasion?
Yeah. It is.
Oh my
But
gosh.
still, like, I think like my next unhinged read that I'm like most excited about is called Get Out of My Swamp. And if you're asking yourself, that sounds a lot like Shrek, you'd be correct. Yeah, Shrek erotica.
Okay. That's a fan fiction, right? People write that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My macaroni and cheese is a lesbian, and also she is my lawyer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That's another really fun one I sent to my cousin and was like, hey, your newest read came out if you want to check it out. Might be worth you.
Oh my gosh, Chelsea. The life you lead.
Yeah.
In all your
fun time. You know, no one can ever say I'm boring.
100%. 100%. But before we go, we always talk about where are you at currently with your dating situation?
It is non-existent. My books are my boyfriends come in the form of books.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it is. I'm taking that hard
non-existent.
Yeah, it is. One of my girlfriends is currently running a Hinge account for me.
Oh.
I'm letting her do her thing, but I think we're gonna stop that. And I'm leaning full force into the self-care routine. And I'm just praying for a meet cute in the wild. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
All right. Good luck, because that do you get to go out in the wild, or is this just a truly 1 in a million shot here where you're not in the wild as a lot?
I'm attempting to be in the wild. I'm secretly hoping that a billionaire gets lost and just needs to come knock on my door to use my phone. And I'm like, oh my God, here. And then he just falls in love with me. He looks into my eyes and is like, where have you been? He's like, let me take you away from all of your pains. And
then he's like, wait a minute, let me see your book collection. And he's like, actually, I am so and so author. And you're like, perfect. Right, all about me. I'm your muse.
See.
So you do have a plan, at least.
That's what I'm hoping. I need there to be a billionaire that's crossing lines in Perrysburg, Ohio, and I need him to just get lost in front of the post office.
Would you settle for a millionaire?
Yeah, I think I could settle. You know, okay. I think I could settle for a milli.
A multi-millionaire, though.
Yeah. Oh, hello. We're talking like hello. $1 million doesn't really get you squat these days. I'm gonna need a couple extra zeros behind that milli, like 100 milli. So yeah. Come on, right. I need a library to put all my books in.
Yeah. All your books that you don't read, but listen to.
I do.
Hey.
These are my trophies. These are my completion trophies. You complete the audiobook and then you get your trophy.
And it's not messed up because you haven't been touching the pages.
You get it.
Or in some cases, not having to touch the gold leaf on the edges of the pages. Damn.
You get it.
All right, Chelsea. Well, this was awesome. This is so much fun. Tell your friends to be on the lookout. It's not coming out for not till next week.
Okay.
So it'll be out whatever the Thursday is next week. So tell them to be prepared the 16th for this crazy episode. And actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, we're just getting started. We're just warming up, okay?
I know we didn't get to all the sentient stuff. That's very intriguing to me, especially because last time you talked about that door that was sentient. What was the name of that book again?
Unhinged.
Unhinged. That's right. Okay, yeah, that was a good book title too.
Yeah.
Not as good as these Mr. Tingle ones.
Yeah.
These are top notch. But all right, Chelsea. Well, thanks again for coming on here and telling me all about the wonderful quizzes, all the letters, and all the cool synopsi.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, thanks. Thanks again to my guest, Chelsea Westfall, for coming on the podcast and learning me some things about smut novels. And the end of that podcast with all those crazy titles, that was insane. And like I said in the episode, probably shouldn't have Googled that. Who knows what's going to be coming up on my phone now. So thanks, Chelsea. And I look forward. We talked after the podcast about doing some more, maybe bringing some of her friends and doing some sort of episode because it's very interesting to me. I mean, just podcasts in general is why I like learning about new things. There's people that I work with that I want to come on, just not as unhinged as these book things, but there's people that like all these certain things. And I was just talking to some coworkers saying I just enjoy learning things. Doesn't mean I'm gonna like do anything or like be super involved in these because I already don't have time to do things. But it's interesting things that I like. So it's all about this podcast. So if you want to come on, if you think you're not interesting, I will deny that. And everyone is interesting. Everyone likes to talk about themselves. They just don't know it. So if you'd like to come on, just hit us up, the nerdballpodcast@gmail.com. Search the Nerdball Podcast on all social media. And of course, YouTube, search the Nerdball Podcast to find all our videos. So as always, thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuttlefish Graphics, Big Daddy Graphics, and Perrysburg Junior High STEM Lab for always helping out the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.